erasable pen.
I have my own pink erasable pen.
All right.
Erasable pen just means it smudges.
No, it doesn't. It used to mean it smud. It used to mean it smudges. But technology has improved such that it actually erases quite cleanly now.
That's a weird start to a video.
This is a weird class.
Touche.
You have a weird teacher.
Touche.
All right. So remember, everything is worth 1 mark unless I tell you otherwise. Just like on your provincial exam. You could do a whole half page of work for 1 question, but it's multiple choice. And if you get the wrong answer, you get 0 for it. Okay? Okay? All right. So this was 71,500 centiliters. Because, of course, to move kilo to centi is that many decimal spaces. Right? I started here at kilo, and I went to hecto, deca, regular, liters, right? And then deci, centi, 71,500. This one, now, this is the one that was giving Vanessa trouble. I don't have milligrams on my sheet, do I? But I have grams, don't I? So where's the decimal here? It's right here, yeah? But milligrams to grams is going up the stairs, right? So the decimal has to move 3 spaces left. So this is 0.413 grams, yes? And I want ounces. So I look on my data booklet and I see that 1 ounce is 28.35 grams, yes? So I want ounces. So I have to do what? Times, I want ounces, so ounces goes up top. 1 ounce is 28.35 grams, yes? The 1 always disappears, so I have 0.413 over 28.35, which is division, which got you 0.0143. Okay? Now that's tricky, I know, because that's actually asking you to do 2 conversions, isn't it? It's asking you to do an SI conversion and an imperial conversion. But is that fair? The SI conversion's easy. You're just moving decimals, right? 3.82 miles. If you left it as decimals, that's okay. All right? If you rounded it up to 4, I'll even let it go. 6.49, 6.5, anything like that, yards. This one, 2,103 millimeters. And this one, exact same thing, except you had the ounces. So it's 992,250 milligrams. Everybody okay so far? 32 feet, 1 inch, 6,100 pounds, and 6 pounds, 13 ounces. And that part's out of 9. Everybody cool? Does anybody need to see any of them? Once, twice, thrice? Sweet. Now, you guys didn't have to do, your next thing is 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah? Mm-hmm. Are they numbered 16, 17, 18, 19? Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay. So what is this guy's measurement? Would anybody like to volunteer it? 16.4. 16.4. So, Mikey, why did you say 10? 10, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is 16, yes? And you see 0 has gone just past 16, hasn't it? So it has to be 16. And then notice that right here, the 4 lines up perfectly. So it is 16.4. You cool now? Take a second and look at the next three and change them if you did them wrong. I will give everybody a chance to fix it right now. If you did not get 16.4, you're reading these wrong, have another quick look. I'll take a moment and let you have a quick look while I slide over to 17. Has everyone had a quick look? Yeah? Okay. This lines up perfectly. So what's the answer? 5. Done. Okay? Let's go on to 18. Who would like to offer me an answer for 18? Can't be Bryce. 8.3. Oh, you're a new woman, Mikey. Way to go. And other than Mikey or Bryce, who would like to offer me a number for 19? Didn't even give you a chance, Vanessa. Look at them.
We don't use hands.
It is 21.4. Yeah, out in Chilliwack, they're way more civilized, so they do still put their hand up in class. Am I right, Vanessa? Yeah, boy. What's a hand? I should go the traditional school route, make you guys all stand up to talk to me.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm going to do it now anyway.
Okay. That whole page is out of 13, right? So give yourself a mark on the bottom of page 1 out of 13. Next page starts at 20. Now, guys, the photocopying was a little poopy. So what I'm looking for here is the fraction. Right? I don't really care about the 4 part. I care that you read the fraction correctly. Okay? So I will take anything. I will take this point or this point.
What if I assumed it was in the middle?
Or I will also take in the middle. So I will take, 1 second, either 11/16 as a fraction.
I did 23 over 32.
I will take 3/4, because that's 12/16. And I will also take halfway between the two, which is 23/32. Okay? And then if you wrote 4, that's fine, because I did tell you to consider this as being measured from 0. But the fraction is what matters. Everybody cool? Questions, comments? No? Good. This one, same thing. I will take anything from, for this one, photocopied a little better, so I'm hoping to get 5/8. But I will take 9/16 up to 11/16. Because the photocopying I don't think came out as well as it did on my screen. Everybody okay? So that's worth 2 marks so far there. I told you to ignore these, yes?
Yep.
Because they're imperial. I've never seen them on the provincial exam ever. Okay? In case this is the year they put it on, you might lose 1 mark out of 60, 1/60th of a test that is worth 1/5 of your grade. Okay? So you might lose 1/300th of your grade.
Well, that's no good.
Okay? So some of you might be stressed about that, but that's proof that you need my math class if you think 1/300th of something is going to affect you. 1/300th? No, it's 1 divided by 300. So it's very, very little, yes? If you had $300 and I wanted $1, would you give me one?
Probably not, but that's unrelated.
Yeah, you wouldn't. That's why I didn't use that example with you. Because you wouldn't, but I know that Vanessa would, because she would be well aware that she still had $299. And me, I would have $1 with which I could go buy a Slurpee. Not anymore, because Slurpees are $1.39.
What, do you think our freaking Canadian dollar's worth anything?
Okay, so now, just in case it follows the same rules. So, does everybody see? I'll do this first one. Actually, I won't because it's too small. I don't like the decimal there. I'll do this one, 24. Does everyone see how the 0 comes out here? And since this is imperial, these are 16ths, yes? So the 0 goes to 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 16ths, yes? It doesn't quite get to 7. Does everyone see that? So I've got 1 and 6 16ths. Everybody good? Now, what lines up? Right there, yes? What spot is that on the moving scale? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes? And that moving scale is split into 8ths, yes? So it is 6 out of 8 there. Is everyone cool with that? But that moving scale is splitting these 16ths into 8ths. Does everyone understand that? So it is 1/16 times 6/8, which is 6 128ths. Is everyone okay with that? So I have 1 and 6/16 plus 6 128ths. Then I get a common denominator and I add it up. Everybody cool? That's the only time I want to show you, because it's not going to come up and it's a pain in the butt. But all you do is you take the fraction that you have, and then the moving scale splits this into that fraction, then you add them together with a common denominator. Cool? Okay. So that's worth nothing. But now we're on the paint question. You guys didn't have number 27. You just had the paint question here. So, how big is the walls of his room? First of all, how many walls are there? 4. How many calculations do you need to do? 2, because 2 of the walls are the same, right? How big is one of the walls? 4 by 3 covers one wall. And there's 2 of them, yes? So it's got to be 2 by 4 by 3. Yeah? Plus, what's the other wall? 3 by 3. And how many of them are there, Josh? 2 by 3 by 3. Apparently this kid lives in the basement with no windows. I've lived in the basement with no windows. It's very, very weird. Because when you wake up in the morning, like before your alarm goes off, if you have a window, you have an idea of what time it is, yes? If the sky is light, you're like, oh crap, I got to get up in a minute. But if the sky is dark, you're like, oh, I can go back to sleep. You with me? Well, when I lived in the basement, no matter what time you woke up, it was pitch black. So you wake up, and you would never it was impossible to get up. It was like living in the cave. It was like hibernation. All right, so what does that give me? 24 plus 18, yeah? So I got to cover 42 meters squared of wall. How many times? Thrice. So what do I got to do with that number? Multiply by 3. How many people forgot to multiply by 3? Bryce, Andrew. Yeah. If only I had put it in the question.
Yeah, seriously.
Right? So it's 126, which I then divide by 12 to get 10.5 liters. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Is that the right answer to this question, the way this question is written? Yes, it is. Because, Vanessa, this question just asks, how much paint do I need? Does it say the paint comes in 1 liter tins? If the paint comes in only 1 liter tins, then how many cans do I have to buy? 11. What if it comes in 2 liter tins? Then I need 6 cans. Everybody understand? Of course, paint actually comes in 3.78 liter cans, which is a real pain.
Really don't understand
What? That paint comes in 3.78 liter cans?
that.
Well, because it's 1 gallon. And Americans still with their gallons.
See, I paid my own roof by mail.
Good for you. I need to paint my daughter's room. She would like to paint her room. Well, she wants to paint her room. So who does that really mean will be painting her room? Dad. Don't know yet. Probably some sort of light blue. She likes blue.
Neon pink.
So my daughter will say, I'll help you, Daddy. She'll run in with the roller. She'll make 7 W's on the wall. Say, oh, I'm tired. Oh, it's okay, honey. You can go. Now, if it was my son, get to work. But, Dad, I don't care.
Reminds me of my dad.
Just like my daughter can live with me until she's 40. My son's birthday card when he turns 18 is going to have a check in it that pays rent somewhere else.
Well, that's actually quite kind.
That page was out of 3. Okay, so for these, I'm just going to put the answers, all right? If you don't have my answer, stop me, and I'll show you how I got it, okay? Because there's a million different ways you can do these questions, yeah? And everybody's got their own way. So, surface area and volume of this big guy. Oh, first of all, would anybody like to volunteer their answers? Anybody got some guts? Vanessa? 660 centimeters squared. I am going to tell you that that is absolutely right. Well done. What about volume? Oh. I'm going to tell you that that's not quite right. When you see the real answer, you may not think that it is close enough. What is the real answer? Anybody? Going once, going twice? Say it, Vanessa.
Well, I got 213.
Nope. Nope. 1,000.
Oh, I was actually right. I thought I was really off.
Okay, so I assume that everybody is okay with surface area because you just added up the sides. Volume is the problem, yeah? Is this a prism?
Yes.
Does it take a shape
I'm just going to say yes.
and repeat it more than once? Yeah. So is this a base shape? Does that make this a height? And isn't the volume of every prism area of base times height? And isn't the base of this prism this triangle, which is 6 by 6, right? 6 times 6 is 36, yes? Divided by 2 because it's a triangle. So this is 18, correct? Right? And what's this part down here? 8 by 4, so this is 32, correct? So what is 18 plus 32? 50. So isn't the area of the base 50? And then doesn't it repeat 20 times? So 50 times 20 is 1,000. How many of you tried to find the volume of this and then the volume of that and then added it together? I bet everyone. Right? Because again, you're learning steps, not thinking about what you're actually doing. A prism is always area of base times height, isn't it? Look on your data booklet. Every prism, area of base times height, right? Right? So don't let that fool you next time. These are out of 2 because there's surface area and volume. So if you got surface area, give yourself 1. What about 29? Anybody want to try 29? Surface area or volume, I will accept either one.
I got
You got me? 460 for surface area or volume? Abso-smurfly correct. 460 centimeters squared is perfect. Way to go, Mikey. Way to get your... Oh, meters squared. Sorry there, boss. Who was that? See? In Chilliwack, we care about precision. We just want you to move back, Vanessa. We hate losing Chilliwackers.
That's all right.
Don't worry, you guys will all move to Chilliwack one day when you realize that it's so much better. It really is. It really is. Know how I know? Because every time I go to Cultus Lake in the summer, you know who I run into hundreds of?
Oh, yeah.
Students from here. Right? Yeah.
Who goes to the lake?
And volume?
Um,
Mike, are you going to go 2 for 2?
489.
Oh.
Close enough.
You're closer this time. 432.
Yay.
Still close enough.
Anybody need to see either of them? Which one? Of course. Nick, isn't this surface area the exact same as if this went all the way out here? The only thing that's missing is this, yes? And that is 9 by 2, correct? So I lose 18 there and 18 there, right? So it's surface area of the big one minus 36, yeah? Because 18 and 18, cool? So if I use the surface area formula to find the big thing, and I minus 36, will I have the right answer? I will, right? What's the surface area formula? 2 LW, 8 times 4, right? 8 times 4 plus WH, 8 times 18, correct? Plus 18 times 4 for 18 and 4 right here. Cool? Then when I do that math, if I subtract this 30, this 18 and this 18, I will get 460. Cool? Because if you draw this thing out, if my pen would erase,
See? Unerasable pen, just like you.
shut up. There's the whole roof, right? As if it was a proper prism. Cool? And then this side is with this side as if it were a proper prism. Right? Cool? Okay. And then volume, again, you have a choice. But the way I do it is I do volume of the whole big thing minus this little volume. Right? So the whole big thing is 8 by 18 by 4, right? So volume, 18 times 8 times 4. But I have to subtract out this little guy, which is 9 by 8 by 2, isn't it? So I subtract out 9 by 8 by 2, and I get the answer. Cool? Yeah. Now, could you also have cut this in half, found this volume, and added this volume? Yeah, that's allowed too. You'll get the same answer. Okay? That's why I'm not showing you guys how to do all these, because there's more than one way to do it. And if you understand a way to do it, I don't want to confuse you by showing you a different way. You understand? If you don't understand any way to do it, I've just shown you one, you're cool. Okay? So that's also out of 2. Cylinder, I think I only wanted surface area, right? So that's just following the formula. 200 pi, or it'll be like 630 something. 628. 628.39. 628.39. That's cool. I will take either one. Okay? Did anybody other than Peter solve the gummy bear question?
Not even close.
Felix? Did Peter show you? No. How tall?
1.79.
Yep. 1.79 centimeters. The water will go up that much.
I don't even know how you came to that conclusion.
Huh?
I feel bad losing a mark for something that was actually not possible.
I'm not taking a mark off. It's not worth anything. It was worth gummy bears. I will show anybody who is interested how to do it later in this period.
Okay, cool.
So that page is out of 5, yeah? And the last page, draw the net and find the surface area of the cone. So first you have to draw the net. I draw every net of a cone the same way, like this. circle, and then that. Why do I draw it that way? So I can turn it into a math angel. Because every time you guys find your surface area, an angel gets its wings.
What if you get it wrong? Is it just like die?
Yes.
I've killed a lot of angels.
All right. But seriously, folks, you get 1 for the net, and the surface area of a cone, what's the surface area of a cone? Pi r squared plus pi r slant. So you just fill in the formula, and what do you get?
I'll do it right now.
How is the net?
The net is the drawing,
Oh,
the shapes that make it up. You get 864 pi or 2,714 point blah. I don't know.
3/6.
Great, I don't care. For 2 marks there, 1 for the answer, 1 for the net.
Oh, I actually did draw it. Sweet.
And volume and radius of a sphere, you just fill in the formula. Surface area is 9852 or 3,136 pi. Volume is something like 33,000 pi. I can't remember exactly. And then, or 29,000 pi maybe. I can't remember. And 91,000 here. I can't remember the exact numbers. So just 91,000, whatever. And that page is out of 3.
4.
Oh, 4. 4. So 4 and 5 is 9. 12 and 13 makes the whole thing out of 25. Now listen to me. Tomorrow when you write your test, you're going to write this score on your test. So I can put it in, check my mark, okay? So you're going to write your name on your test, Navjot, and right beside it you're going to write 24 out of 25, right, Navjot? 24 out of 25, right, Navjot? Everybody cool? You're going to write your score. Any questions on it? Okay, remember, you get to use your data booklet. Okay? And I am willing to let you use, for this test and possibly the next test, I will let you make a sheet of notes to bring in. Okay? Yes.
What is the next one? Is what, trigonometry?
Trigonometry is next.
I can do that.
Okay? If you don't make that sheet of notes, that's your problem. But there are some rules. The sheet of notes must be handwritten, not prepared electronically, and it can only be 1 piece of paper. I said 1 piece of paper. You can lawyer ball that however you want, Vanessa. Yes.
There's got to be a way to abuse this system.
There is a way to abuse the system. But it won't matter because you won't do it. I know this because I let my grade 9s last semester bring in cheat sheets. And nobody brought them because that would have required you to do homework.
Some of us did.
Felix,
I lost.
I write Chinese on it.
you can write Chinese on it. I don't care. Just don't write on it, Mr. Myers is a moron in Chinese, and then say, oh, this is math, Mr. Myers, I promise.
I won't.
Okay? Oh, yeah, you will. That's what all the Chinese guys do. I know that. That's why whenever you get a tattoo, you should always take a Chinese guy with you or a Japanese guy with you if you're going to get a
Noodles.
yeah, right? Because you go in there, you say to the tattoo guy, I want strength in Japanese. And the tattoo guy says, yeah, and then just draws it on you. Then you go to your Japanese buddy. What does that say?
Wait,
Pinkie pie.
my,
What?
my,
I wanted strength.
dude, my friend has a tattoo and he thought it meant courage and literally just said wasabi.
Yeah, I know. You have to take the person who can speak the language because the tattoo guy can't. He's only going on whatever he ordered off the internet, the stencil, and he has to believe them. Always take somebody with you.
Do you have a tattoo?
No, I do not. When I was in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Trigonometry. A trigonometry. Look.
I'm looking.
I used Star Wars font, and I wrote it the way Yoda would say it.
Lesson notes. Theorem.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. We don't have it like that. Ours is just
No.
No.
Ours is
Oh, it's still Star Wars font.
Yeah, it's still starting.
Yeah, it's still Star Wars font.
Next page.
The Theorem Pythagorean, must you know. All right. You guys already know this. I'm just going to make sure. What is the hypotenuse?
The 6 feet across from the right angle. That belongs as part of this.
The long side generally.
Okay, so I got like 5 definitions there. I got the longest side. I got C. I got across from the right angle. I think that was all I got, yes?
Sure.
Okay. All of those are correct. Which is the definition you think I like?
Mine, obviously.
Across from the right angle. Here's why. Do you ever know it's the longest side unless you measure it? No. You would have to measure it to know it was the longest side, yes? Is it always going to be C? No, of course not, because I just told you that was X. So it's not C, is it? Everybody cool? So what is the hypotenuse? It is the side that is across the triangle. From what? From the right angle. Okay? The right angle points to the hypotenuse. I'm going to write hype because I'm lazy. Everybody cool? Now, before I go on, I want to ask you. Does that triangle I just drew have a hypotenuse?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because there's a right
Because there's a right
angle.
angle. Does this triangle have a hypotenuse?
Well,
Yes.
No, it's not. It doesn't have a box. It's not.
Doesn't have a box. Does it have a longest side?
Yes.
But is that side an hypotenuse? No. Does this have an hypotenuse?
you draw a box.
Yes or no? Now does it have a hypotenuse?
Yes.
Now it does. Everybody with me? No matter what it looks like, if it's got the symbol, it's 90 degrees. If it doesn't have the symbol, you cannot assume that it is 90 degrees until you do more math. Does everyone understand me? Okay, picking up what I'm putting down, reading my mail, mowing my lawn? Okay. So the legs are the other two sides. And they are not named. They're not special. Nobody cares about them. Hypotenuse gets a name. Now, those of you that have been in my class before have heard my story. When I was in grade 7 and my teacher taught us Pythagoras, he told us if you can't remember what the hypotenuse is called, then call it the hippopotamus. So when we got to the test, guess what I wrote? Hippopotamus. Guess what that dick Mr. Bailey did? Marked it wrong.
Did you spell hippopotamus right?
Oh, I wonder. Maybe I spelled hippopotamus wrong. It was 1987. It's possible. I'd like to think that I could spell it. Hippopotamus.
I don't even know how to spell it.
Potamus. Hippopotamus. I'm sure that's right.
How do you know you spelled it like that?
I don't know. Maybe that's why Mr. Bailey marked it wrong. Maybe all these years I've been mad at Mr. Bailey. Maybe he marked it wrong because I spelt it badly. Holy crap, I should find out. I should track down Mr. Bailey. Maybe I'll use Facebook.
I thought the other sides were called the opposite, adjacent generally.
Later.
That would just be one time my friend, her mom told me that her dad like passed away when she was little. And then when I was like, oh well, how did he pass away? And she's like, oh I don't know, my mom has never told me. Like she's not told me lots about him. Like, why don't we Google him? So we look him up and like he's not actually dead. So we sent him a message on Facebook because his name was like Dwayne and it's like the same person, right? Because she has a picture of him. So we like sent him a message on Facebook and like sent him a picture of her and it's like, is this your kid? He didn't answer. So.
Yeah, probably not, because one of two things. Either he didn't know, and that wasn't very nice to him, or, right, you should be more careful. I don't know who my dad is, but I'm okay with it.
His loss.
Could very well be. All right. Now, Mikey, my good friend Mikey, said the hypotenuse was C. Great. So here's a question, and I ask you to find x.
Now see.
Calling x C doesn't make any sense because that's not a C, is it? That's an x. Of course you can change it. Here's the problem, though. And I'll tell you why. First of all, you guys are going to make that C, correct? So then you're going to fill it all in. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared is 8 squared plus B squared is 15 squared to get C squared, which is 64 plus 225 to get C squared, which is 289 to get C squared, which is 17 to get C. Everybody cool? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, yeah? Excellent. Now, what will you do over here?
C squared plus A to B squared and equals B or C. Whichever one you choose. Or it's minus.
A squared minus C squared, that's going to get me a negative number because C squared is the longest side.
C squared minus A squared equals.
So here, you're going to go C squared minus A squared equals B squared, right? Everybody happy with that? Okay, so fill it in. What's it going to be? 12 squared minus 8 squared x squared, right? Because we named him x. So that's going to be 144 minus 64 equals x squared. Yeah? 80 equals x squared. Then what? Square root, which is going to be somewhere around 8.9, right? Almost 9, because 81, square root of 81 is 9. Yeah, is everyone cool with that? Is everyone okay? All right. Here's the problem. Don't write this down. On the provincial, I have seen this question. Find C. Of course you do. But once you see that it's a right angle triangle, what do you use to find the answer in a right angle triangle, Josh? A squared, B squared, C squared, right? A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right? Except that's wrong, isn't it? Because C is not the hypotenuse. You could, but everybody forgets because they only know A squared, B squared, C squared. They haven't actually learned what it means. Everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
So make sure you're on the lookout for that. Yeah? Okay. Now, I'm going to let you guys think for a minute.
I did it.
Looking at A here, and knowing what you know, can you tell me what X is? Is it possible? Think for yourself for a minute. Talk with your neighbor if you want to. And then tell me if you have a strategy that will find X. I would like very much to see if you guys can do it.
Wait. I see what your shenanigans is here.
There are many shenanigans here, Bryce. Talk amongst yourselves. I will give a 3 gummy bear prize to anybody that can come up with a reason.
I got a reason.
Or wait. If you work in a group, everybody in the group will get the same prize. You may talk to Preeti, you may talk to Daniela, but you cannot talk to me. So I would like to hear an actual value for X. I'm just going to pause. Okay. So the answer is indeed 17.32. Who would like to volunteer their thought process? Vanessa.
So what I did was I looked at the big triangle.
One sec. Vanessa is in blue. So you did.
So I looked at the triangle that's 35 centimeters by 20 centimeters.
Yep.
And I wanted to see how I could make it a right angle.
Yep.
I put a line down the middle and I saw that it was equivalent to the 10
So you cut that in half. Okay.
So I saw that it was equivalent to the 10 centimeters. So then I used Pythagoras.
So you said this was 10?
Yeah, so I used c squared minus a squared equals b squared. So then it would equal the bottom.
So then you went 20 squared minus 10 squared to get this side,
Yeah.
which got you 17.68.
Yeah.
And then you subtracted that from 35 to get 17.32,
Yeah.
which you then transcribed up to there.
Yeah.
We did the same.
You lie. I will dodge your growing nose like Neo in the Matrix. And Josh, did you do something similar?
Yes.
What did you do?
I looked at 20 and saw it was like the same size as the other side, so I just decided.
Okay, so you made an assumption that this side, I'm going to make Josh be in green. Josh took this side and assumed that this side was the same length.
It worked.
Are you allowed to do that?
But it's like.
Just wait. Are you allowed in math class to make assumptions? Are you? Really?
It's not a good idea.
Because I assume that the sun goes around the earth. Just one sec. We'll come to that in a sec.
Do we go around the sun or does it go around us?
Asked by a grade 10 student.
We just turned,
Do you know how solar systems?
So, anyway, I'll ask again. Can you make an assumption in math class? No, you're not allowed. Josh, it worked out this time, yes. But it's a dangerous thing to do, okay? Are you with me? Now, Vanessa, did you make any assumptions? Yes, I think you did. You are assuming that this is a 90-degree angle, so that this distance is 10. What if this was 91 degrees? Then this would have been longer than 10, wouldn't it?
But the top is 90 degrees.
Okay, so by your logic, that shape can't exist. Because that's 90. So that would make the bottom 90 automatically?
No, but then that line that's parallel to the 90 degrees is still straight.
This line is straight, yes. That makes a 90. How does that affect this line? This line here does not need to be 90 degrees. Does it?
But the line is straight.
So?
Because it's 90 degrees. And then to the bottom, like I wasn't looking at the 35.
This is not a winning battle.
I understand that. But you are making the assumption that this is 90 degrees. Based on looks. Right? Now that's okay. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying you're wrong. I am saying what you did is a really good way to find X. I'm asking you if it is officially a way to find x? Can you guarantee to me that x is 17.32 without saying this is 90 degrees? You can't, can you? Okay. Josh, can you guarantee me x without assuming that these two greens are the same length? You can't, can you? Is everybody cool? Everybody understands? Now, if I change this diagram slightly, can you then do it? For example, if I say this angle and this angle are the same, then that makes this a special kind of triangle, doesn't it? And that means 20 and 20 are the same. That would make Josh's work. Agreed? Everybody cool? Or if I did this for Vanessa, who was in blue. If I make that 90, does Vanessa's way now work? Yeah, because the 90, this is going to be perfectly parallel, isn't it? So that 10 is definitely going to slide over to here. Is that cool? But as it was before, do you guys have the math to tell me what x is without making those assumptions yet? You might, because you've been through this class already. Felix might, because he probably did trigonometry in grade 6. When did you do trigonometry, Felix? When did you do sine, cosine, and tangent?
Now we're learning the function.
That's what you're learning right now in China. If you were in China, you would be doing the function.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing in pre-calculus 12 next door. Way. Anyways. Everybody cool? Yeah? All right. So now let's look at the next one down here. Could you guys solve this one? Again, could you solve it the way I have it?
Technically, no.
Technically, right now, no. If I make a small change in the diagram, can you solve it? Yes, you can. Okay, I'm going to add one piece of information, and I want you to tell me what x is. Everybody ready? Go.
I don't have a calculator. You can pretend.
Oh, you come to math class without a calculator?
Dude.
Dishonor.
I'm not buying another $50 calculator until I find out if I've actually failed. So
Why? First of all, where was your calculator from the first semester?
it just kind of disappeared.
It disappeared. I see.
Dude,
You're a magician.
Yeah, dude. Actually,
Ah.
I'll see a magic trick. I can.
No, you're a teenage boy who doesn't care about yourself because you don't have to pay for it yourself.
I did have to pay for it.
Oh, that hurts then. Guess you should have taken better care of it.
Yeah.
I lost my first pair of glasses because my mom bought them. They were $250. You know what my mom said after that? Go blind or buy your own. I bought my own a few years later. Never lost them. I did, however, break them in grade 12. Does anybody have an answer for me yet? Except Bryce, who doesn't have a calculator.
I have it in uncalculated terms.
You have it in uncalculated terms? Okay. Andrew, do you have an answer for me?
33.54.
33.54. That's Andrew's. Oops. Andrew has 33.54. Anybody else? Oh, okay. Back corner girls?
I have 500 square with 25.
Back corner girls sounds like a gang.
Yeah.
For the back corner girls.
I got 33.5.
Well, 33.54 is 33.5.
Square root of 500.
Square root of 500
Yeah.
is going to be around 24, 23, 24.
I'll have to leave it at the square root of 500.
Leave it as square root of 500. Alicia, you got an answer?
Wait, that's not the answer I got, but like,
Okay.
it's square
Ray,
root
you got an
500.
answer? You got 33? Okay, Andrew, would you like to tell us how you got that? What did you do? Navjot, you got 31? Okay. What'd you do, Andrew?
20 squared plus 100 squared.
20 squared plus
100 squared.
10 squared, right? So you found this distance. So you found this hypotenuse by doing the square root of 400 plus 100, yes? Which is square root of 500, right? So this side is the square root of 500. Cool? Now, do you have two sides of a right angle triangle? So x must be the square root of 25 squared plus the square root of 500 squared, yes? Square root of 500 squared is 500, obviously. 25 squared is 625. So this must be the square root of 1,125, correct? Which is indeed 33.54. Very well done. Very well done. Now, would your answer be different if I gave you a different piece of information?
Yeah, probably.
Let me ask you this. Is this possible? Could I put two dots here? Am I even allowed to do that? Is that possible? If I put those two dots there, what does that make this side have to be? 25, and we know that side isn't 25, is it? It's 22 point something, so I can't put those dots there, can I? Right? All right, I'm very pleased with you guys. That makes me very happy.
Thanks.
Well, except for you, Bryce.
Wow. That's rude.
Everybody okay? What's the point? Why did I do this exercise?
Sadism?
No. Every single one of you can do that, can't you? With one triangle, right? That's grade 9. In grade 10, we're going to use this information to go further. Got it?
Gotta go fast.
Picking up what I'm putting down? Read my mail, mow my lawn?
No.
Okay, here's what I'm going to get you guys to do. I have a sheet. I do not want you to finish it tonight. Okay? Because you have a test tomorrow. I want you to study for your test. This sheet has two sides. I only want you to do the Pythagoras side. When should you work on it? After the test. When is the Pythagoras side due?
After the test.
Probably on Monday.
Monday. Look at you, Preeti. Do your business.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
Do not do the puzzle sheet on the back.
What if I wanted it?
If you think you can, go ahead.
I can do this.
Okay? Everybody Gouda? Nobody Swiss?
No. Dang it. Steal my joke.
No, that's my joke that you stole from me.
No, yeah.
Yes.
You only need to do half the joke. Now do the other half.
Okay, bring me back my rulers. Because we didn't actually get to needing them today.
This last thing, go through this.
Yeah, in the proper bin. And, ladies and germs, be ready for your test tomorrow.
What about our gummy bears?
They're coming. I'm busy. It's like a bad cartoon. I'm going to fix that problem right now. Because I'm a problem solver.
Or is Scotch tape a problem solver?
What?
I don't know words very well. I'm slightly dyslexic. Billy Bob Joe Jr. The second.
Myers, what's his name?
Billy
Dude,
Bob Joe
why?
Jr. the
Why?
second.
She's a girl.
What?
When a girl asks you your name, you should tell her.
That's my name. That's my legal name.
Billy Bob Joe John Jr.?
Yeah, the second.
Uh-huh. His name is Bryce, Alicia. That's brick to you, apparently.
Yeah, it is brick. And I'll have you know if you pronounce it wrong.
Briche. 3. Some of you have thieved my yellow rulers.
Why do you have 2?
Because 2 of them tried to thieve it. The good Chilliwack girl. She's been living in Abbotsford too long. Just kidding, Vanessa. Just kidding, everybody else who lives in Abbotsford.
It's like a form of nationalism.
No, it isn't nationalism because Chilliwack is not a country.
I corrected myself.
It is regionalism.
Yes. That
Well, you know what? It's not any better.
No, it isn't. Regionalism and nationalism are bad things. Most isms are bad things. Sexism, racism, ageism, regionalism, nationalism, NIMBYism.
I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna find a good one.
Yes? What do you think? Well, what do you think ageism is? What's racism?
What are you? A year younger than me? You're stupid.
Yeah. Old people are dumb. They don't know anything. Yes, ageism is a super big thing. Yes. Anytime you discriminate based on something, it's an ism.
Because
Except gorgeousism.
Because everyone thinks that the generation after them is stupid, and the generation before them is old and craggly, and the generation before them is naive.
Yep. You go, girl. You'll be fine. You should be. It's in Denise's class?
Yeah.
Take him his rulers when you go. Tell him I fixed the box. I'm going to double fix the box. I can't even imagine.
No, Tracy went up in the class to make sure on his first time. He literally did that.
Just Reese let that happen.
He was in the room.
There you go.
Reese would never do that.
No. Reese was on 8. I can't even imagine.
But the funniest part was when the teacher turned around, he was just staring.
Yeah, because you don't expect somebody in grade 12 to behave. You expect that from a kindergarten who's not right in the head.
That was me.
Did I tell you about my wife's kindergarten class yesterday? There was a very kissy boy in it. He was just running around kissing girls.
High five to that boy.
I'm like, man, I'm so glad I don't teach kindergarten, because can you imagine if Bryce just decided one day, it would be so freaky. It'd be like Bugs Bunny.
That's rude.
What?
Freaky.
Well, it would be. It would be
That's
weird,
true.
right? Or you're walking down the street, or you're in the mall, and some guy just walks up to you.
Unless you're in Spain.
No, in Spain it's mwah.
That's
It's different.
I wasn't literally thinking by this you meant like someone licking your face. That's kind of weird.
And it's probably 3 kisses in Spain. I know in France it's 3 kisses.
In Spain they speak Spanish.
I can't think of many R's. Luxembourg? No?
It's a B, I know that for sure. What are you
Luxembourg.
doing? No, finish not that. Yes! Stop fighting me! Come on. Wait, I only know 2 other people that like to fight.
No, I don't know. I don't do it at all. Like when I went and spent 10 days in Quebec, I was kissing everybody when I got home. You meet somebody, oh, come on! And I was at home in Quebec, oh, I have not seen you in days! And everyone was like, well, no, the women love you. But the dudes are like, that's my girlfriend. Relax. Jay, take that to debris. It's a fixed box. I'm pleased with you guys. That was a good class. That was brilliant. I don't know why you all stopped working when you had tests tomorrow. You could have been making your cheat sheets.
Oh yeah, those things.
Oh yeah, those things.
I don't cheat.
Is that right?
If I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna do it the good old-fashioned don't get caught way. I'm not gonna do it the friggin' way you're allowed. It's not even cheating.
I know that.
Half the fun of school is finding ways to cheat and not get caught.
Have good days.
Teaches you resourcefulness, Mr. Myers. That's a life skill.
You're eating against grade 12. Pitching like 90 miles.
Have good days.
Alicia.
Thank you, Daniela.
Yep.